So Rabbi, I have a question. So in today's times, would you say it's easier to be religious or harder to be religious?
It's easier to know the truth. You see so many miracles in front of your eyes. You see who runs the world. Everybody understands that, Jews and non-Jews. However, the temptation with what's going on today on social media and TikTok and on the streets and all these parties and the luxury lifestyle today is more dangerous to people's spirituality. It's harder. When the world was simple, down to earth, people didn't see the wealth everywhere. Remember, you had to be in a fancy neighborhood to see the wealth. Today, you can be the poorest guy in the world. All day you see on the screen fancy cars, fancy homes, fancy yachts, all these things. It drives people crazy. And that's what creates so many financial frauds and so much drugs and depression and anxiety and fights, because everything is in your face. And it's much harder. But on the other hand, to know that God exists and the Torah is true with the technical devices that we have today, sometimes take 20 minutes to prove the point. 1 or 2 clips, one person get the point. It doesn't mean it's going to change, but to know the truth, it's very easy to prove today. And you can get to videos that went to millions of views. One single video, millions of views. 30 years ago, how did we get to 1 million people? You had to pay on CNN to put a commercial and pay $500,000 to get to 1 million views. Today, it costs almost nothing. A few dollars, you put it on. Especially now when many of those non-Jews anti-Semite website discover me, so they cut clips from my stand, and you see 30 million, 10 million, and it increased my volume.
We love talking about him on this podcast.
A lot of people, they wonder, who is this rabbi that Tucker is talking about and the other anti-Semite? But they don't understand that this is the way of God bringing them the truth in their face, that later they have no excuses when they will stand in front of him. You see, they bring parts from my clips and they think they make fun. But in the end, this is exactly what God wants them to hear.
I don't think everyone knows exactly what you're referring to. Could you tell us exactly? Tucker Carlson is a big name who clipped and reacted to something the rabbi said.
And took you out of context.
I would say, like everyone else does, if Jews do it, why wouldn't he? You know how they do it? They cut something. You speak 10 minutes, they cut a minute. People need to hear the 5 minutes before that minute.
Context matters.
Critical. They cut a minute and they make a fake headline. The headline is the thing that makes the damage. That's how they play with people's mind. Because the people most of the time don't understand what they hear anyway. Believe it or not, most people see clips but they don't understand. What they do remember is the headline. Okay. And that's the trick today of all the liars and the manipulators on social media, is the headlines.
Right.
You understand?
It's been like that since newspapers. People only read the headlines.
The headlines is the most of the damage. So, this is how it is. One of my videos that, went viral, that somebody cut a part that I spoke about Rabbi Berkowitz from Lausanne, from Switzerland. That he was working in an office with some non-Jews, and one of them say to him, tonight is Christmas, you killed our God, he said to him. So he said to him, to the best of my knowledge, if a person can kill someone that is declared a God, it means he wasn't a God. Because how can a human being kill God, right? So they cut this part and they put it on, and believe it or not, a lot of Christians and all kinds of Gentiles, they make in the comments, listen, he has a point. How can a human being that was created by the gods kill the gods? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Logically.
So this is the way God wants people to see the truth and to think. Because you can feed them something 20 years, but they don't use their head. Wait a minute. If someone couldn't help himself and he couldn't help anything from his situation, how can he save me if he couldn't save even himself? You see, if someone come to beat me up and he break my face, then you expect me to come and defend you? That's what one of the Arabs wrote on my YouTube page. If Israel cannot defend themselves from the missiles can they protect the Arab countries around? He's 100% right. Israel can defend themselves 90%. 10% of the missiles make a huge damage.
Yeah.
That's not a full protection. If I cannot defend myself 100%, I cannot defend anybody else more than I can defend myself. Very simple, common sense. How come they didn't think about it before? I don't know what to say. But this is just an example how you can become famous in a minute. One person discovers it, and all of a sudden it goes viral. And from here, you get a lot of people to watch other things. Like when I made that famous debate in Bet Gavriel with a Christian professor,
Right.
it had millions of views. You know how many Jews became religious thanks to that? They were not interested in Judaism.
I think some of them are here.
They were interested in the fun of watching a debate between a rabbi and a priest, which is always entertaining. Let's see what the other side has to claim.
Yeah.
Through that, they started to realize, wait a minute, we are the chosen people. God gave us the Torah in a public event. We are the only nation that got the book of God in a public event, not by story of someone who claimed that he had a dream or that he was in the desert and the angel gave him the Quran or something like that. We are the only nation. Nobody can deny us. That's why other religions never deny that we got the Torah in Mount Sinai. They try to claim that they got another book. The problem is with their book that it contradicts everything that God wrote in his first book. So it can never be his book. You understand the point? And that's how you get a lot of Jews that were completely ignorant, completely to watch other things that I made and realize that we have the only truth. God doesn't have many truths. He has one truth and we got it, and it's undeniable, and it's not open for any negotiation. He doesn't change his mind. He's not a person. One day he's in a good mood, tomorrow he's in a bad mood. So tomorrow, according to the new world, he's going to change his truth. The truth will remain the truth.